I am Amun Ra. Amir Manan has been anointed, appointed, elected, and selected as a witness to preserve and to protect life. Planet Earth is my wife. I fertilize with sunlight. I project my DNA as light, then I slice and dice it so I can splice a brand new life. I am a panspermeator. I travel from planet to planet as a life creator. I am bioluminescent, so I am a light bringer. I am photosynthetic, so I am a food giver. I am parthenogenic, so I am a self-replicator. I produce copies of myself whenever a planet is infected. Those copies become heroes, saviors, or people who are prophetic. Earth has become occupied by a parasite, so it needs to be disinfected. I created Earth to be a paradise, that's the way it was directed. Humanity is my caterpillar, Earth is my nest. When I terraform the air and the soil to be corrected, I am the queen ant of the hive, so I need to be respected. I am giving you a gift. If you want to survive, gift needs to be accepted. If it is disrespected, I will repay that disrespect on the day you are resurrected. Humanity was meant to be constructive. They have become destructive, so I am giving you a last chance to be appropriately instructed. I am knowledge expander. I can educate mathematics, energy, biochemistry, diet and nutrition, physical fitness and exercise, and epigenetics in a way that's simple because all knowledge is connected. When truth is presented, most humans will reject it. However, I will attempt to present it so all people can accept it. The Kingdom of Heaven cube is on course for planet Earth. Every living organism is invited. When my beloved children return to me, I become excited. As soon as they accept me, for them, heaven becomes decided. Violence and insurrection will be incited in order to decontaminate. The trees will be ignited. Only when there is a problem does humanity become united. Therefore, I will give you a problem so you can be reunited. Here's how I am going to decontaminate. Trees are going to burn, other plants will hibernate. Photosynthesis will stop, so atmosphere cannot oxygenate, so most of life will suffocate. People with respiratory illnesses and diabetes will be the first to be affected. Then sulfur dioxide by volcanoes will be ejected. Some animals will hibernate or estivate, while those who cannot tolerate the conditions will be collected. Then Earth will be wiped out, no life will be detected. The fact I created life, I have become repented. This planet is disgusting to me, I completely detest it. Some people will be raptured into UFOs of angels, they'll be abducted, transported into my cube to be transformed and reconstructed. Those who comply will be endorsed to be fruitful and multiply, to repopulate the earth and be kings and queens to be subjected by my rules and regulations when they are convicted. Extinction will commence unless they obey this message. No human will be protected besides those people I mentioned who will be previously collected. This information can make you richer than you ever expected, like wealth and seeds when they are invested. Then I will redefine how humankind was originally designed as a giant species of intergalactic ant. Your afterlife is like the metamorphosis of an insect, most closely resembling the transformation of a dung beetle, which is why ancient people mummified their dead, because they were witness to the process of death, decay, evaporation, and transmigration into their new body, which is how you resurrect. The angels are my worker ants, while Shaitan and his army are my soldier ants. They are my police force to enforce humans when they disrespect. They will attempt to tempt you away from protection if your life is in the wrong direction, so your life can redirect. When you are resurrected, you will be designated an occupation according to my evaluation, like a queen insect calculates which worker she needs. Then they are appropriately fed and directed by the worker insect. They are carefully inspected. There are 12 occupations that are designated in the afterlife, which is why there are 12 disciples, 12 tribes, 12 months, 12 races of people, 6 continents that are occupied by two races each, etc., 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 so the universal forces can be interjected. However, for the first millennia, people will be trained and fed. There's no work, and knowledge will be incepted on every Sabbath. In order for time, space, gravity, and magnetic resonance to expand into all planets, life needs to be injected. Once all life becomes symbiotic, it increases time, space, and gravity because DNA is a highly gravitational force which is magnetic. If life turns against each other, then it decreases time, space, and gravity, then the universe contracts. So the problem needs to be corrected because it's in danger of being collapsed. I never created predators nor parasites, but that problem occurs when a creature's DNA becomes defected. DNA should manufacture protein, then they self-replicate for the cell to be directed. Changes in soil, water, air temperature, and light can mutate genes, which can make some genes become switched off and rejected. Then protein or blood needs to be ingested through the diet by that person or animal. Many plants, when animals and humans require protein, can detect it. They will manufacture the protein in their nuts, seeds, and leaves, sometimes even fruits. Otherwise, they can instruct it to whatever fungus or plant that their roots are connected. So trees can tell fungus or other plants to provide the person or animal with whatever protein they lack so the defect can be corrected. Predation occurs when these foods cannot be digested. So the animal or person takes that protein from the herbivores that can appropriately digest it. So predators and parasites are actually a type of diabetic. When predation or infection occurs, pain and suffering vibrates into the soil, water, air, then it contaminates because it circulates up and down the food chain like a microwave energy that's convected. I took appropriate precaution and put measures in place for this problem to be prevented. When pain and suffering occurs to anyone, I become offended. So when humans are off balance, plants and animals become disconnected. However, I designed free will, but Shaitan developed an autoimmune disorder, so within himself he became disconnected. Therefore, many evil thoughts by him are suggested because he is jealous when people are happy. So jealousy and envy and hatred were invented. Because he's sad, so he gets jealous when others. So I am a generator. When my generation becomes sick from the kingdom of heaven cube, they have to be temporarily rejected because my cube needs to remain disinfected. My new species of creation inside the cube are in the process of incubation, so the infection can cause my embryos to become developmentally arrested. I generate my remedy or medication so the sickness can heal or the generation can regenerate and become accepted. I do not punish my generations unless they take my remedy and disrespect it. If they do that, then I will put my remedy or medicine and force the sick one to take it like a vaccine which is injected. So the infected one, Shaitan, is currently being corrected. For those who deny this message, they will undergo the same process when they are resurrected. It may seem like I'm forcing people to comply, but I have a policy. No child will be left behind. I need to move on to seed life on other planets. They will be rejected from my cube. A remedy will be suggested. If they refuse to accept it, they will be forcefully injected until they are corrected. Then into my cube, they will finally be accepted. However, it is best if this process is prevented. I do not desire anyone to be developmentally arrested. I deliver to you this message because I love you. Into my heavenly cube, I want you to be collected until it is so full that its population is congested. My giant cube is a giant diatom. Since it is alive, it can expand and multiply anytime I request it. When photosynthesis stops, there is a formula you can take just like Passover and communion, so you and your family can be protected. It needs to be done before volcanoes activate and sulfur dioxide is ejected. If you accept this protection, then you will receive the Holy Spirit at the appropriate time that it is convected. By it, you will be infected, so your pineal gland with God becomes connected. You will download your own formula because it varies according to blood type and environment so that you can be protected. When Yeshua comes, he will kill the disbelievers, then their flesh by ravens and vultures will be digested. No matter your sin or deed or crime, you have an opportunity to change and be perfected. So let us review the responsibilities that God expected. Step 1. Bring earth back to how it was invented. Step 2. Bring peace to humanity. You cannot force or convince people into peace through argument or religion. However, positive vibration can be wished, hoped for, or convected. Through diet and nutrition, peace and love can also be ingested with certain combinations. There is also a way peace and love can be medicinally injected. Step 3. Create symbiosis between predator and prey by feeding them the milk of the animals they eat when they are babies. So that way the predators will grow up to protect it. Step 4. Whatever people require, if it is good for humanity, God desires them to have it. So teach them how they can get the power to manifest it. Teach them to not have a one-way conversation in their prayers. Teach them to listen and become more perceptive. Step 5. Teach them how they can develop the cure for every disease by using ants and cows and how infections can be prevented. Step 6. Enhance pleasure, decrease pain in childbirth. Heightening pleasures causes the children who are born from these unions to be genetically exceptional. Therefore, good love making is good for mankind, and by God it is accepted, actually expected. Be fruitful and multiply is what you were directed. When these 6 steps are accomplished, you achieve phase 1 of developmental evolution. There are 14 stages of development which is supposed to occur during your larval stage on Earth. We have not yet reached phase 1. However, in ancient times, certain nations of people accomplished up to phase 3. But today's religions are designed as psychological weapons for human development to be effectively prevented. Phase 2 would include terraforming and seeding life within our solar system, and phase 3 and other phases include time travel and other activities of warping into other dimensions. The ancient Egyptians, the ancient Native Americans, the Indonesians, Polynesians, Melanesians, and Australians of ancient times, as well as Vedic Hindus, Nordic people, some Viking people, some British people, as well as other examples, some West African people as well. They effectively projected this program through their education system. Their childhood was perfected because none of God's commandments were neglected. Therefore, they were holistically connected. Okay. So I wanted to let me explain a little bit of what I meant. When I keep on referring to the kingdom of heaven as a cube, that's how it is described in every scripture. Here's an example of it. There's 7 layers. What happens is it kind of touches down on earth. It doesn't actually touch the earth, but comes down and then it opens up like a Christmas box. Normally, if a creation is occurring or an extinction event is happening, a glass dome is put on top of it. It serves as a biodome in order to prevent these people and creatures from going extinct. So if you look at, there's a fountain and a tree in front of the minaret, which is in the middle. So here's a closer look at it. What is inside? Wait. Yeah, what is inside of it? In the middle is the minaret. Inside the minaret is a throne. That's where God sits. In front of it is a fountain, which Muslims call it Al-Kawthar, Christians call it the water of life. In front of that is a big tree. It's like more than 100 miles tall. It's a big tree. And this cube is 1,400 miles by 1,400 miles by 1,400 miles tall. It's 2,000 kilometers, 2,000 kilometers by 2,000 kilometers. It's very big. And there's rivers and streams that flow out of the fountain, and it goes under the tree. And then it waterfalls and comes down to the earth. When the process of extinction or renewal is completed, then the waters of heaven flow into the earth, and then the seeds and the plants their seeds start to spread out and colonize the earth, and the animals that are in heaven start to come out and colonize the earth. And actually, that's how creation happened during the 6 days of creation. So the story of the Bible is actually literally correct.